Okay, let's look at our next lesson in solving equations. So I would suggest that you watch not all of these, but many of these videos in succession to help you out to get a deeper understanding of what we're doing. So let's get into it. Lesson 18 of algebraic concepts. Here's our objective, vocabulary, rules and notes. Okay, so now what you're going to do here is you see two negatives in a row. That's the first thing we're going to do is deal with the obvious math so you don't get confused. Look at your two negatives. So you change this to g plus 14 equals 11. And now, from the previous lesson, whatever you do to one side, you look at your variable and see what operation is being done. We see that addition is being done to the variable. So now we got to do the opposite to get rid of the 14. We have to subtract 14 from both sides. So now, g, 11 minus 14 is negative 3. And that's how we solve this problem. Okay, looking at our next example, we have negative 7 minus x equals 12. Well, what I would suggest you do is make x positive. So let's get rid of the 7 first. So negative 7, what's the opposite of negative 7? Positive 7. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. Now we have negative x equals 19. This is negative 1. When there's no number in front of variable, it's negative 1. So what you're going to have to do is get rid of this negative. You can add x to both sides, but we have 0 equals 19 plus 1x. And then what you're going to have to do now, subtract 19 from both sides. 0 minus 19 is negative 19 equals x, positive x. And if we stick negative 19 in here, negative 7 minus a negative 19, two negatives become positive. So if I do the substitution for you, I see negative 7, two negatives becomes a positive, and that is a true statement. So you can always check your work, and I'll put our check in this box when you get your answer. That's just a further way of making sure your answer is right, is to check it. So those were our examples for this lesson. I will see you at the end of the video for a recap. Okay, so we threw in a little order of operations for you. So 11 equals y minus, we do the exponents, PEMDAS, your parentheses exponents. So since this is -4 inside the parentheses, it's -4 times -4, which gives us 16. So this is y minus 16. Because the negative is outside the parentheses, it just comes down. And we only worry about this right here. So we see that we're subtracting 16 is from the variable. So the opposite is to add 16. Those cancel out. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And then y becomes 27. Okay. Same thing as before. Let's subtract 12 and subtract 12. We have -y equals 7. Now, what we're going to do is add y to both sides. It cancels out. We got 0 because negative any number plus the same number gives you 0. That's an identity property of addition that I forgot to mention in the example. We get 7 plus y. You cannot add a 7 and a y. They are different terms. Now we have to subtract 7 from both sides to get the y by itself. And on the next line, we have y equals -7. And so if I were to stick a -7 in here, here's the check. 12 minus -7 equals 19. And we see that 2 negatives becomes a positive. And we know that 12 plus 7 equals 19. Okay, so that is the end of our lesson for today. Subscribe if you see what you like. Stay tuned for more videos dealing with equations and hit that notification bell. Thank you very much.